Phantomaniacs, welcome to the newest unboxing here on the Needless Things YouTube channel, brought to you by Audible Interlude, a G.I. Joe podcast available wherever you get your podcasts every single Friday, plus live streams here on the Needless Things YouTube channel every other week. Yes, I am a cheapo. Well, I'm not going to say cheapo, because this was originally, what, $90, and I just wasn't going to pay $90 for it. It went on sale for Black Friday on Hasbro Pulse, or maybe Cyber Monday, whatever it was, and I decided that price was right, and then, like, 5 minutes later, it was on Amazon for, like, $60, but whatever. I'm happy with the price I paid for it. I feel like it looks like it's probably worth $75, and I think I paid, like, 68, maybe, something like that. So I'm happy with it. I'm good with the value I got. So, obviously, windowless box. The art on the front looks awesome. It's got the Viper officer in the front, surrounded by, of course, 4 other Vipers. I'm late to the game here. Obviously, lots of people have already gotten this, reviewed it, whatever. But I just want to check it out. I'm excited about this pack, because as much as I've already got a couple of Vipers, having more is nice, especially when it's a new product, which is kind of how I justify this. Well, I mean, the Viper Officer is obviously completely new, but I do believe the 2 regular Vipers in here are pretty different from the Cobra Island release as well, which, by the way, how odd is it that we didn't ever get a regular retail release? Well, this doesn't want to come out of here. A regular retail release of a Viper. Just this, I think, fan channel exclusive. Let's try opening up both sides, which is fine, because it looks like what I'm going to end up doing with these windowless boxes is just flattening them out. Ooh, this is kind of cool. I like the difference here. Oh, okay, you're supposed to open it from the top anyway, because there's an actual... Man, these things are stuck in here. Are you kidding me with this? Okay, there we go. So yeah, anyway, I'll end up just flattening these out and storing them all, which will take up a lot less space, because the other ones, you know, have a lot. You can't really just flatten those out and save space storing them if you're keeping all of the packaging. Okay, so for the Viper figures, oh boy, all twined into the packaging with a piece of tape that seems maybe like overkill, and is plastic. So this is not plastic-free packaging, as long as they're still involving tape, which I kind of hate. Alright, let's cut through all this annoying twine and get our Vipers out and deployed. We will be taking a look. I don't think I did this in my original Viper review, and I don't know if it's because it didn't occur to me, or perhaps because I didn't yet have an original Viper, but we'll do a little comparison here with that original Real American Hero Viper figure. Well, and I've got in a box... I've got later reissues of Vipers that happened, in the early 2000s, late 90s, whenever they were doing those. I've got some of those, too, that I could have done, but didn't. Already, right out of the box, I'm digging that officer a lot. And I can also tell that these guys are indeed pretty different, which is cool. Oh man, I didn't think I was going to like darker colors more, but I might be wrong about that. All right, let's set our accessories to the side, and we'll go ahead and do a side-by-side, and we'll get that officer out of the way since he is not currently relevant. These 2 are just straight-up troop builders, identical, so we'll set one to the side, and we will take a look. Get those arm guards. Well, I'm not going to bother turning those around right now. But as you can see, the Cobra Island Viper is much brighter. I hope the backpacks stay on these a little bit better. Significant color difference in these guys. I don't know. They both, yeah, I prefer the Cobra Island, but not to an extent of, oh, I don't even like these. These look great. But I do prefer the brighter colors of the Cobra Island Viper. But deco-wise, it looks like they're the same number of deco hits. They didn't drop any paint apps or anything like that on these figures, which is nice. Yeah, we're in the same territory as far as paint apps. Interesting. The more subdued colors, it's just a very interesting look. But I do prefer, well, I prefer the brighter colors. And then since these guys are still standing over here, then we've also got our Python Patrol Viper, which I think is still my favorite. Well, let's throw our officer in here and just get them all in one shot, just so we can see what everybody looks like. That backpack, annoying. So there you go. Original Cobra Island Viper, 3-pack Viper, Python Patrol, and then Viper Officer. Cool looking unit. I like that these two could kind of go together. But these guys on the shelf together, I don't know. I don't know if I'll do that or not. I'm going to set him over to the side here. Put our Python Patrol guy back because he's still over here. Oh my gosh, I just knocked over everything that was standing to the side. That's fine. Let's take a direct comparison of these two. So the reds match, which I like quite a bit, and they're a different red from the Crimson Twins red, which I appreciate that distinction because I'm excited that they're going to the length of making those reds match. Very cool look. A little disappointed. Well, no, maybe not. I was going to say I wish the arm guards were done a little bit differently, but they have the black here. It's not quite the inverse of this one, but it looks good. It's a different and good look. And again, the same number of paint apps. Notice the gray on the belt buckle there on the officer. Very cool. I like this set. I'm happy with it. Articulation-wise, look, do I even really need to go over the articulation? Drop-down hips, double joints, boot top swivel that may or may not swivel right now. There we go. The ankles are the hinged with the peg. I mean, yeah, we know at this point. I'm not going to run down all of the articulation. I like the gold visor. That gold visor looks great. And I wasn't sure if I was going to leave the scarves on, but as you could see, the my regular Cobra Island Viper, I left the scarf on that guy. So apparently that is a look I'm going to stick with. So comparison-wise, let's take a look at, we got the pockets. I'm still bothered by the stripes not quite working on the classified version. As you can see, that red stripe should go underneath the pocket all the way down the leg. And then on the inside should go all the way up. So I still feel like this looks like an error to me. They messed this up. Because honestly, if you're only going to do, I would rather have just one stripe on the outside. But I mean, really, they should be on the inside and the outside. I just feel like they, I don't know, maybe it was a paint thing. I don't know. I don't know what the design decision was. I do like the red that's on the belt buckle is represented. The red grenades, the red straps on the shoulders. Everything's there. It looks cool. I would prefer it if the classified also had the rolled up sleeves, But as we know now, I don't know how, I think we're done with that little guy. Oh, and it's worth pointing out that he obviously has brighter colors, and even the Cobra Island is not as bright as that original release. I don't know how easily this hand is going to come out. It may require some heating up. Yeah, that's because apparently one of the things that's been going on is the forearms do not match the neck on some of these. Now, if you've got the scarf on, it really isn't ever going to matter. But that is something that people have seen. You know what? And let's check it out. I want to see. I need to know. Okay, I just heated this fella up a little bit so I can pop that hand right off. And we've got a forearm armor piece that does not want to come off. Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. This is wild because I did not have really any trouble. I don't think I even had to heat up the Cobra Island. Okay, well, you can see the skin tone matches on that fellow. Maybe it was the officer then. And this one should be identical. This shouldn't even be. Oh, look at that. Okay. So he has darker skin and a darker neck. So this guy matches. So I do not have the issue that some folks have had with their Vipers. Look at that. So let's, just for a little side-by-side comparison. And boy, I would love it if this would just come off. So you could really see the full forearm. Make for a more interesting visual than peeking at just a sliver of flesh. I'm sorry, I'm committed to this now, you guys. Okay, there we go. Good gosh. So there you go. Oh gosh, those colors don't match at all, though. Here we have what Super 7 would probably refer to as brown. Or tan. I think they call it tan. And then the neck is very clearly pink. So those don't match, but fortunately, our darker skin, as Super 7 would say, brown, is much closer. It still doesn't quite match, but it's much closer. Okay, let's set those aside and take a look and see what our officer has to offer. Officer has pink neck. Am I really going to have to heat that up too? I guess I am. Okay. And tan forearm. So there's that. All of those mysteries have been solved. I'm sure you're all delighted. Get this out of the screen and take a look at the accessories. You'll notice this is not a locker like some of the other windowless releases we've seen, but it is a cool map, terrain map. I like that. Let's open it up and see what all that extra high dollar pricing was in this set, aside from just the figures, which at the time of release, I don't know if figures had made it up to $24.99 yet. But we'll just say $75, I feel, is pretty reasonable for this set. If you can get it for that or less, then and yeah, I understand you're getting two of the same figure, but if two $25 figures are two $25 figures. Doesn't matter if they're the same or not. Okay, so here we have what look like the blast effects and some goggles and smoke effects. And that is one thing about these. I've said before, I prefer the windowless. Get rid of the plastic trays that have been warping our toys for decades. But do check these little bags and make sure you get everything out of them. Okay, so we've got a number of really cool blast effects, and I like the fact that they've got paint. That smoky detail on them looks really good. Man, look at that. Look how cool that is. So you can plug, you can either, we'll just do it with the pistol right here. Oh no, I guess we won't do it with the pistol, because when this is the original Viper pistol that came with the Cobra Island version, and Hasbro was not yet putting holes in there for blast effects. So we will just take that, and then the officer, oh, wait a minute, that is a different pistol. Interesting. Okay, so these we're going to put to the side. That's old news. But this is a new style pistol, for presumably for the officer, that does have the hole in the front. Has some nice paint on it. Looks really good. Look at this. Very nice detail there. Wow, this is definitely a step above those other two pistols. And you've got a suppressor, and I appreciate that the suppressor has a peg right there so you can see what you're doing, although it's looking like it doesn't want to go into the barrel. There we go. So you've got that. So now I'm wondering, no, see, I was wondering if maybe they'd given the officer one of the holsters that has the spot for the suppressor. And they did not. He's got the standard issue holster. But then we can see you can have kind of a regular gunshot. You can have a big blast. And you can have a more... and if you want to tell me in the comments which of the firearms make which blasts, I don't know if there are very specific ones that go to each other. Now, this one looks to me like sort of a submachine gun blossom, if you will. But can you combine that and that? Pretty cool. We got this little bit of business, which is a smaller, probably pretty good for this one. All right, so we've seen that. We've seen those. We know what the goggles look like, but they do have different goggles for the officer. So you've got two pairs of standard goggles. Although this, let's go back to this guy, and his goggles have no paint on the lenses. So this is a definite, I'm trying to set him somewhere accessible. This is a definite upgrade, because you can see you've got the silver paint on the lenses for the standard Vipers, and then the officer has the gold paint on the lenses. So these are actually an improvement. I got a little wisp of smoke for a recently fired weapon. Crazy little mushroom cloud looking thing. This is wild. So I guess you can do that and that if you so desire. I am curious to know if you guys are watching this and want to leave in the comments, like, which of these effects might work best for which guns. I'd just be curious to know it. And then this one again, kind of a motion, like you're swinging the barrel of a machine gun. So I think the effect they're going for here. All have really nice translucent plastic. Look great. Let's set all that aside and see what else we've got. I don't need my toys to come with real rifles or whatever. And I don't necessarily want anything that looks like Roadblock's crazy outer space fork. Like, that was too much, but I didn't mind the Nerf guns and stuff. That was fine to me, because I want these to be cool, fun toys for the shelf, or pictures, or whatever you're doing. But I am not a give me real guns guy, or give me toys based on real guns guy. I don't care. It's fine, it's neat when you see it, but I don't look at them and go, oh, I'm disappointed. This is not an actual real-world firearm. I don't need that. So we've got 2 of the original Cobra Island Viper, the rifle that he came with removable magazines. And that's a cool rifle. I dig it. We've got 1 sort of submachine gun looking deal. If this has been released elsewhere in the line, I don't recognize it off the top of my head. Feel free to let me know in the comments. Again, removable magazine. Cool little piece. I like it. Oh, and wait, let's look. So this one was designed with the hole in the barrel to accommodate blast effects or whatever. Interesting. And then we've got these 2, which I really like. I still would like to have something that's more like the original Viper rifle. But this is a cool little weapon. I dig this thing. This might be what I arm these guys with. And look at that. You've got... No, that's not going to fit on there. I'm actually not sure. Really, the only thing you can put in the... And that doesn't look quite right, does it? Like, I feel like that should be more of a blast. All right. Cool loadout there. And then finally, we've got what I assume are the backpacks that hopefully will stay on a little bit better than the original. And again, very nice differentiation. The regular Viper backpack has nice blue in the middle with the red Cobra emblem, and then paint on the grenades, on the rope. Great looking backpack. I want to do a little comparison here. You can see the differences between the Cobra Island version and the new version. And then the officer, just a little different. So let's see how well this plugs in. Hopefully, oh yeah, much better than that original Viper. Tons better. That's great. So hopefully all of these will... Oh yeah, man, that one even had like a satisfying sort of click to it. Much, much better. Great. Thank you, Hasbro. And there you go. That is... Look at all the stuff that came in this set. I mean, I can't, especially for what I ended up paying for it, this is a great value, I think. If you can get this for $60 or less, it's a no-brainer. Anything under $75, I think you're getting a fair deal. But there you go. Great troop builder set. Obviously you're going to end up with maybe more officers than you really want if you buy a bunch of these, but still, and there are probably people out there, well, I know for a fact there are people out there with dozens of the Cobra Island Vipers, so they may want just the officer, and you can hang on to the Vipers, however you want to handle that. But cool set, I dig it, I'm very glad to have it, and thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, come back for more G.I. Joe reviews, more Christmas reviews, I think are coming up this week or may have already happened. But whatever the case, thanks for watching Needless Things. Until next time, Cobra, where is my hand? Ah!
Smash that like button if you like Needless Things.